Our world is now covered in ice and snow, bringing with it a chilling sense of sadness. Only 1 week remains in the season. Hoping to pick up right where he left off, the evening of January 4th finds Mike Reed heading back to the same redneck blind his daughters and wife shot their bucks from.
It's Monday, January 4th, and Chase and her set up back on the home farm. We're in the same redneck blind that my 2 daughters and my wife killed over this corn plot. It's a great spot to bow hunt out of. I have 3 potential targets on this farm still. My wife said, please shoot Tex if he comes out, do not pass him. So I don't know if he'll show up tonight. I really want to get her on that deer, but with the bow in hand, I think if he walks at 20 yards, I'm definitely going to shoot him, and we'll try to get her on one of those other 2 bucks. We're going to see what comes out tonight. We've got about 2 hours left. If we get lucky, we'll have one come in front of us, so I'm going to sit back and enjoy the afternoon. Oh, there's a buck. I can see his body back there. Is that not a buck? It looks like Tex. Yeah, that is Tex. That's what I thought. Holy crap. Dude, I didn't even see him. Oh, dude, no, that's the one I've been filming. I was like, Mike's just gonna sit back hanging out. Man, what an awesome night. That blind is hot this year. We almost got it done on Tex. He came into about 25 yards and he just stood there for 30 minutes. I tried to get up and kind of press up against that front window and shoot out of the side window. I was assessing it anyway. It would have been a really difficult shot. Shooting out, basically making that corner window a slit. And I didn't want to push it. I wanted him to walk out and give me a better shot, and then a doe spooked, and then they all went back to the timber. So he's a great big framey deer. He's a 5-year-old, cool deer, and hopefully we can get on him tomorrow.
The buck known as Tex does everything right to stay alive, and the following evening, Mike and his wife Catherine make another hunt for the buck. The evening ends with plenty of action, but unfortunately, the buck is a no-show. Mike makes it out one more time, heading down to his river farm, and by the end of the night, he shoots a doe. This concludes his action for the 2020-2021 season. The following day, January 7th finds team member Kaleb Greiner heading back to the river farm. This is the same farm that he sat a few days prior with his cousin Jack, and they saw the mature buck known as Tripod.
Alright guys, January 7th, hopefully today is the day. We've been given some pretty tough conditions as far as weather goes. We've gotten snow, we've gotten ice, and it's made it so these deer are actually having a really tough time getting down to food and getting down to these turnips that I'm hunting over right now. But I'm in here after 2 targets today, and that's the old pen and Tripod. And boy, would I be tickled if I got either of these bucks to come in today. I've been waiting to close the chapter on either one of them, and hopefully tonight is that night. I've got all the gear packed up on my back. Got about a half-mile walk to get where I need to be. I'm about halfway there. I just peeked over this hill, and there's a couple deer that are actually right on the edge of the food plot right now. And the reason that I'm actually wearing this snow camo, and the reason my gun is still in the case, is because I knew I was probably going to have to crawl a good chunk of this way. So once I get to where I'm at, I'll take the snow camo off and obviously get the gun out in position and whatnot, but now comes the fun part.
Tripod. Oh, he just shedded one of his antlers. Oh, guys. I've been hunting that deer. I've been hunting that deer for 4 years. Yes! Oh. God is good. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm speechless. I gotta call Collins. I gotta call Collins and Casey and Josh. I gotta call the boys. He's down in the field.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah, he shedded one of his big side. Like right after I shot him, but he's dead in the field.
No, he's alive.
I am so pumped right now. I did not think I was gonna get that deer because he's dead in the field. Oh, he's a giant, dude. He's a giant.
Alright, hey, I'm picking up Cooper right now and I'll come back.
All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, brother. I'll see you soon. I see you soon.
All right, guys, here we are. It's the morning after, and emotions are still very high. I'm still absolutely shocked that I harvested this buck, let alone just saw this buck last night. But I just want to talk about a little history that I've had with this deer. It actually starts all the way back to 2018 when Collins and I and a buddy, we're actually on this farm, but down at the river, and I actually caught a glimpse of this deer, and I noticed that he had 3 legs, and I noticed that it was bleeding, this leg obviously, and it was a very, very recent wound. Going into this season, into the 2020-2021 season, Tripod was my number 2 deer on this farm. And as soon as I got a picture of him, I knew I had to make a big change. I knew his core area was probably down at that river bottom, and I knew that if I was probably gonna kill this deer, it was probably gonna be in late season. But I couldn't be happier with this deer, you guys. It's 3 years of history that I have with Tripod. You know, it's a very unique deer, only having 3 legs and being a deer of this caliber, antler size and whatnot, but I'm still shocked, as I said, you guys. I couldn't be more tickled, and a huge thank you to Casey, to Collins and Josh, and my family for just helping me stay persistent and not giving up, and just giving me words of wisdom throughout the whole thing. And you know, I've been blessed this year, you guys. We have had, Collins, I, and Casey have had the best season ever. We've harvested 7 beautiful deer, all on film, and we've actually gotten Casey her first deer this year. We got Donovan his first buck. We got Garrett his first buck as well. I mean, just a stellar season, and God is good, you guys. I mean, I couldn't be happier and more thankful for his creation and letting me do what I love every day.
Kaleb Greiner wasn't the only team member hoping to squeeze out a last-second buzzer beater. John Lindstrom has been grinding it out on Iowa public land all season long, and with 2 days to go, he finds himself giving it one last shot.
Today is January 8th, and I'm out on some public land tonight. Our setup is, I thought it was going to be walking in here, a standing bean field. I had hunted this area one time in mid-October, and it was standing beans then, and it still is, but looking around here, just walking through it a little bit, I had a hard time finding a single bean pod that hadn't been broken up yet, so not for sure if it's an actual food source for them or not, but either way, between the timber, there's some standing beans, and then behind me, there's some cut cornfields that haven't been tilled yet, so it's about 3:45 here. We still got probably an hour I would expect till we start seeing some action, but a lot of good tracks walking in here. Look like a lot of relatively fresh signs, so I think they're using this area. Just hope we get a nice buck to come through. All right. Oh, what a year. I got it done. Oh, I just saw him go down. He only went about 100 yards and toppled over, so man, it finally came together. It's been quite a journey this year. I think I've had so many close encounters, just not able to seal the deal. And first time in this spot, like I said, I was here earlier this year, but first time being here with the gun season, and it's been a grind, but just kept going. And tonight it finally came together, so it looked like a pretty cool buck. So let's go check him out. Well, we got our buck here. Awesome buck. Looks to be thought he was a 10, but now looking at him, he's actually 11. He's got a split on that G2. Just an awesome overall night. Like I said before, this year's been a grind for me on the public land. I've had a lot of close encounters. We're gonna get a few things packed up here, and now the real fun starts. It was a hard walk without the buck. We'll see what it's like going back towards the vehicle now. So just really cool. Couldn't be more happy to end my 2020 season with this nice public buck.
John and Caleb's hunts are another classic example of how great the action can be when the conditions are right. Now, the season is over. It seemed nearly unattainable to top 2019, but arguably, this year was our best ever. The perfectly timed cold fronts of October provided us with action we never dreamed possible. At every turn, members of the team were filling tags or encountering giant bucks, and when the big dance itself arrived, we weren't disappointed. Sure, the heat wave that accompanied the first week made things tough, but we found a way, and nearly everyone had an opportunity to fill a tag. And then the late season arrived. Typically, it's a time full of highs and lows, but this year is nothing short of incredible. As great as it was, our experiences are now memories to cherish forever. Now, it's time to look ahead. Mike Reed experienced one of his best seasons to date, harvesting his first buck on the home farm in early October and following that up with a successful trip to his home state, Louisiana. We all saw how the late season played out. Between him and his family, 4 buck tags were filled, capping off an incredible year. Jared Mills, too, had a stellar season, tagging his first velvet buck ever in Kentucky, followed by one of the most successful late seasons with the bow we've ever witnessed. Like Mike, it's the ones that got away that fuels him the most. The Ghost Merino made one appearance and then vanished again. Riding him off for good, Jared looks ahead with excitement to figure out what story is next. That is, until a shed hunt in the spring produces an unexpected surprise. Nearly in eyesight from the very stand he saw him from, the first shed antler to Merino the guys have ever found provides hope that the story will continue for at least another season. The same walk produces a sided Dak, a giant antler that also fuels anticipation. Drake Lamb enjoyed an overall solid season, but after putting on miles nearly every day during the spring months, his haul of white gold finds him looking forward to finding what 2021 has in store. I enjoyed the best season I've ever had, kicking things off with a once-in-a-lifetime buck. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thank you to Lee Abraham for providing me with the permission that made it possible. Looking ahead, the reset button is hit when the farm sells, and by the end of summer, I secure a new lease and the task of learning how to hunt it begins. With summer preparations in full swing, we can't help but dream of the days when the woods will once again be filled with the canvas of fall. The reds, golds, and yellows coupled with the crisp feel of a frosty morning. The explosive sounds of lightning-fast chases throughout the hardwoods, wondering if it's him. All of us live for it, and each day we get closer to this dream. Very soon, dreams will become reality, and we will once again be chasing November.